I feel this is very important to be a part of. We want to always make sure that we are projecting a positive image to the world, to the masses, to the community. Many times, presently and in the past, a lot of times, black people as a whole, black nation, has been projected in a negative light. A lot of times, the truth is not always shared with the media. So we look at what was going on, what has gone on, and we said, you know what, let's take things upon our own self and be that our own voice.
You know, we often talk about leadership in the various communities, and, you know, with all due respect, you don't really see leadership anymore. You know, it's cool that we have a black president, but at the same time, you know, we can't touch him. We can't feel him. We can't really, you know, be inspired by him like we were or would have been 40, 50 years ago. And so now everyday citizens have to be the leaders. You know, you have to step up and say, this isn't right, that should be changed, this needs to be improved, and you need to be one to go out and make these things happen. You know, if all you want to do is sit back and share videos of people being victimized and complain from your keyboard, then you're part of the problem, not the solution. You know, because it's easy to sit back and complain, but, you know, you have to get off your ass at some point and say, you know what, enough is enough.
Myself, you know, I spend a lot of times in elementary schools, high schools, even colleges, participating in anything from performing live, doing public speaking, motivational speaking, mentoring programs. So I feel that it is extremely critical that I take the initiative myself also to partake in this project. You know, like I said, I deal with a lot of kids, so, you know, I can talk about what I'm doing in my own community, what I'm doing throughout the world. Actually, I travel quite a bit, and, you know, more than anything, more than money, more than clothes, our youth, they need our time. So this is me partaking in this is part of me devoting my time to, you know, sharing some positive information and, you know, discussing what goes on every day that I see in schools and that I see in colleges and I just see in local neighborhoods.
We must understand that all of our lives matter. Now, when we look at it, who's going to be the one that writes our legacy? We can no longer allow others to dictate what we are, who we are, and how we are to conduct ourselves. It is time for us to raise our voices so that we can tell the world who we are. So we pose the question, what is it that we really stand for? Many of the topics that we'll be talking about as the show goes on over time is going to talk to us specifically about the current events, past events, and how we want our future to look. Now, we can constantly sit on the sidelines and take to social media, but we decided it's time for us to come together and be able to write our own story so that we can take generations from the dark ages into the current or future with a unified voice.
I would say a few years ago, I think I was, reading a book or knowing me, probably scrolling social media, and I saw a quote that said, silence is a form of betrayal. And I felt like, I guess, totally convicted and struck, you know, and I never forgot that quote. And with that being said, I had to look at myself and ask myself, self, what are you doing in the world especially about things that you know are going on in the world? Are you staying quiet? Are you turning the other cheek? Are you brushing it under the rug because you're not sure what your coworkers may say? Don't front, some of y'all like that. And, you know, I had to really have that awkward conversation with myself in regards to that quote that I saw, silence is a form of betrayal. So, you know, ever since I, had that moment, I took it upon myself in some form to be a person of action, Not just talking, not just, sometimes we think when we sit around and complain about whatever's going on that, oh man, we changed something. No, we really didn't change anything a lot of times. Sometimes in those scenarios, you leave worse off than you came. So I had to look upon myself, look within myself, and really, really have that tough conversation to tell myself to get up off of my butt and do something. And with that being said, I began to spend more time in the surrounding neighborhood, spend more time in the school, spend more time with the youth. I look at it like this: if I feel like something is a problem, whatever category it may be in life, what can I do in that category to spark any type of change? Regardless of what it may be. Everybody can't be the doctor, everybody can't be the scientist, everybody can't be this person or that person, but everybody has that specialty within them to be able to do something. So what is that something? That's something for you to ask yourself. And that's like, with me, I had to ask myself, okay, self, what's important to you in this world and in this life? What can you do? What will you do? What are you going to do? So along with all of that said, spoken in our words, me personally, this is a form of me taking action and coming to the forefront and being another person of change. Action, action, action. Less yapping, more action.
And many times we continue to point the finger at President Obama and his cabinet looking for desired change. But when it all boils down, the change begins with you. The ability to affect real change starts from within. And once we understand that concept, we're able to affect things around us. Now, we understand there's laws that are passed on a national level, but we wonder, why is that not affecting our own personal neighborhood? It's because we get caught up in wanting to exercise our right to vote on a national level, but the real change that affects your everyday today exists on a local level. So my personal charge, not only for myself, but for you, are you voting within your local community? Are you becoming a part of the mentorship programs that exist? And if it doesn't, are you being the leader that's going to bring about that mentorship? Are you serious enough about the things that's going on in your environment to say, I want to be that change advocate? I want to be that leader. Are you doing it within your church? Are you doing it within your kids' school? See, when we want change, we look for others. That time is out. The Martins are gone. The Rosas are gone. You have to take the time and listen to that song that Michael Jackson became famous for, That Man in the Mirror. You have to look at yourself and say, what is it that I can do to bring about that change?
And so what we're doing is coming together as a collective and saying, we're going to show the world that you can have men of different backgrounds, different experiences, different opinions that can come together and actually articulate issues that affect not only their community, but the world as a whole, and make things move forward and be progressive. For me, the motivation is like the motivation for everything I do. It's my kids. I have 2 boys, and for me, every waking moment is, my mind is on them. What can I do today that's going to better them tomorrow and their kids, and so on and so forth? I mean, none of us are promised tomorrow, and so if I had to leave my boys earlier than I expect, what am I leaving behind? They have my name, which is very important to me. But more than my name, I want to give them an example of what it's like to be a man, be around other men, and to take ownership of your community, of your world. I'm not shy in saying that, we all have unlimited amounts of potential. You know, again, not to offend anyone, but the definition of a God is force and power. All of us have that potential to be force and power. Some of us don't know that because we're so distracted with social media and other BS out there. And so what we're doing is saying, you know what? We're going to give you something else other than whatever station network is putting out there for you to look at. We're going to give you something that's completely different. Again, we're all different men, different backgrounds, different personalities. At some points in time, as the show progresses, you're going to get multiple opinions on the same subject matter. That doesn't mean that anyone's right or anyone's wrong. This means that people have different opinions. And the whole point is to get people to dialogue, to talk. If you're not talking and you're making decisions based upon emotion and not, facts or intellectual, gatherings, then you tend to make mistakes. And so we don't want people saying, look how they're acting, look how what they're doing. We want people to say, you know what, let's stop for a minute, let's pause and let's talk. What makes you do what you do? What makes you think what you think? And that's what we're doing. And, for me, it's exciting, because, because not only are we just something that's positive, but we're making a change in the future, and, every year we study Black history, and it's always the same 3 or 4 people. And my thought is, instead of studying Black history or history in general, start making it. Because before the Rosa Parks, before the Abe Lincoln, before whoever, there was someone else. And if we continue to only look and study the past, we're going to live in the past. So we need to study our present and plan for our future. And in doing so, we'll make the world a better place.
I am so looking forward to the dialogue that's going to take place, because I have an expectation that we're going to transform lives before people's very eyes. People get a chance to see all walks of life from different backgrounds coming together and saying, hey, here is a topic, and although we do not agree, we can respect each other's opinion, but then let's come up with an actual solution that's going to correct the problem and may even help us down the road. We're talking about life-altering, life-changing dialogue that's going to help so many people. And this is so needed in our community. Many times we look at the media and we're finding out that the media has a certain agenda, so to speak. But now we have the ability to go off subject, off topic, and just have dialogue, and then be able to talk on subject without having it stripped. This is going to be miraculous. I want you all to stay tuned, because what I'm telling you is we're going to do something that has not been done in media in maybe the last 50 to 100 years. And I guarantee you, you're going to get 100% truth all the time, because these are people coming with their own personal experiences, friends that have experienced it, and they're able to talk on it. I talk many times, and in the event that I'm talking, I tell people all the time, all we are a sum of our experiences. And because all of us have very unique experiences, we're able to bring different things to the table. Now, here's the deal. If we're able to take a piece here and a piece here and a piece here of some of the brightest minds that you ever wanted to experience, and able to put that all together to come up with the part of the solution, now you have what I call the perfect gumbo. Now, if you understand something, one thing New Orleans is known for is that perfect gumbo, and that's what you'll get here.
This is Pink Gator.
This is Jared Gilmore of J. Raphael's Photography.
This is Chigozie Nwokeafor, and this is Spoken in Our Words.
And this is Spoken in Our Words.
Spoken in Our Words.